My mother-in-law got me fired from social work with invented ethics complaints. Her grandchild's abuse case later needed the forensic child advocate only I became. The email arrived at 8:43 a.m. on a Wednesday. Subject line reading, mandatory meeting, ethics review board, 2 p.m. today. I was in the middle of a home visit with a foster family, sitting at their kitchen table reviewing placement paperwork for a 3-year-old girl who'd been removed from her biological parents 2 weeks prior. My phone buzzed on the table and I glanced at the screen, seeing my supervisor's name. Gloria Mendez, who'd been my boss for 4 years and had written me glowing performance reviews every single time, was summoning me to an ethics review. My stomach dropped. Ethics reviews meant someone had filed a formal complaint about professional conduct. They were rare, serious, and could end careers if substantiated. I excused myself from the foster parents, promising to return the next day, and drove straight back to the Department of Children and Family Services downtown office. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. In 6 years as a social worker, I'd never had a single complaint. I was careful, thorough, documented everything obsessively. What could this possibly be about? I'd been working in child protective services since graduating with my MSW at 24, and at 30, I'd built a reputation as one of the most dedicated caseworkers in our county. I specialized in high-risk cases involving severe abuse and neglect, the kind of situations that required immediate intervention and careful documentation for potential criminal prosecution. My husband, Daniel Thornton, worked in finance and made enough that I could have chosen an easier career path, but this work mattered to me. I'd grown up with a mother who struggled with addiction, watched her cycle through recovery and relapse, seen how the system could help families or fail them depending on who was handling the case. I wanted to be one of the good ones. Daniel's mother, Lorraine Thornton, had never understood my career choice. She was a retired real estate agent who'd built a small empire of rental properties and viewed my social work salary with poorly disguised contempt. You could do so much better, she told me at our wedding reception after 3 glasses of champagne loosened her filter. Daniel deserves a wife who contributes financially. I'd smiled and changed the subject, used to her subtle digs by then. Gloria was waiting in the conference room with 2 people I didn't recognize, a man and woman in business attire with briefcases and serious expressions. My supervisor's face was carefully neutral, which scared me more than if she'd looked sympathetic. Meredith, this is Arnold Cho from the State Licensing Board and Diana Westbrook from our Internal Ethics Compliance Division. Please sit down. I sat, my pulse hammering. Arnold opened a folder and slid several documents across the table. Miss Thornton, we've received a formal ethics complaint regarding your conduct with clients over the past 8 months. The complaint alleges multiple violations of professional boundaries, falsification of case notes, and inappropriate disclosure of confidential client information. The words didn't make sense. I stared at the documents, seeing my name at the top of a complaint form, then a list of allegations that made my vision blur. Case hash 2847, allegedly told foster parents that biological mother was hopeless and would never regain custody. Case hash 3012, allegedly falsified home visit notes to expedite removal. Case hash 4156, allegedly discussed case details with unauthorized parties. Case hash 4891, allegedly showed bias against low-income families. Each allegation was specific, detailed, and completely false. This isn't true, I said, my voice coming out steady despite the terror flooding my system. None of this happened. Who filed this complaint? Diana Westbrook's expression was sympathetic but professional. The complaint was filed anonymously through our confidential ethics hotline. However, the complainant provided specific case numbers, dates, and quotes that we're obligated to investigate thoroughly. Arnold leaned forward. Miss Thornton, these are serious allegations. If substantiated, they constitute grounds for license revocation and termination. We'll be conducting a full review of your case files, interviewing clients and colleagues, and examining all documentation. You're suspended from client contact effective immediately pending the outcome of this investigation. The room tilted. Suspended. I'd been handling 15 active cases, children in foster care who needed consistent support, families in crisis who depended on me showing up. How long will the investigation take? Gloria spoke gently. These reviews typically take 4 to 8 weeks. Meredith, you'll need to transfer your cases to other workers today. I'll help you coordinate the handoffs. I wanted to argue, to demand to know who would make up such specific lies about me, but that's when things took a turn I never expected. To see the full story, click the link below or go on my channel.